Setting is good as it looks dark and ominous, which goes well with a trapped atmosphere. The framing in the basement, such as this close-up of the protagonist, creates a claustrophobic and trapped mood, so suits the genre of a thriller. The tightening on the wall in basement is good,
because the bold white text is easily visible and stands out as it is, in contrast to the rest of the gloomy environment. We felt it would be more effective to put the title in this scene as opposed to cut into a black screen, as we felt this would lose the audience attention. This point of view shot, although it portrays the protagonist's perspective, one of the leads for the lighting is unfortunately visible, which is bad continuity. We could prevent this in future by checking our surroundings for things that we don't want in our shots. In this scene we also use a water dripping Foley sound from GarageBand, which creates an eerie feel to this scene. We feel this fits in perfectly for the setting and in which the scene is set.
This is also a good shot as it creates a lot of blank space for the tiles we put in. This pan down shot is good as it is a high angle which asserts the protagonist's slow position of power,
as it looks like the audience is looking down on our protagonist character. Our 3 hours earlier title is good as it is an effective way of changing the setting for the audience as well as informing them of the time lapse which occurs. However, we feel the non-diegetic sound during this title doesn't fit very well with the font we decide to use for this. By not revealing the antagonist in the initial shot of the chase scene, we raise many questions such as who is he and why is he chasing the protagonist. Also, it adds a feel of mystery and confusion to the audience. The filter effect on the chase scene helps give the impression of a flashback. We feel the soundtrack from GarageBand, however, is fairly amateur, so in future we would get permission to use a more professional one. Camera work is good in this scene as there is a wide variety of shots, such as this one because it goes from a long shot to a close-up of him hitting the fence. Also, this point of view shot lets the audience watch from the protagonist's perspective. The titling also is good as it adds pace to the scene, and is a fairly fast-paced way of introducing the people, being us, which engineered the production as a whole. The way in which the trees arch over the fence creates a tunnel effect for our characters, which reinforces the claustrophobic atmosphere created in the initial scene set in the basement. This is a good shot as you can see the protagonist's costume, which suits the thriller genre. The next 2 shots are creative and innovative, due to us using our environment in our shots in order to give the audience an idea of the setting and raise the question, why are the characters in this specific setting? Unfortunately, when our character is falling, a woman came to see what we were doing and ended up being in the corner of our shot. We will address this in future by putting up signs in the surrounding area, letting people know what we are doing so they do not disturb us.
Bad point is that the fall of the protagonist is not smooth due to the jump of shots. The lighting also during the pan of the character is too much of a contrast that is very bright and then it cuts to a dark basement. We would also address this in future by placing the light in a different place to make the basement cutting lighter and more visible. There is a continuity error also, as this shot of the antagonist walking, he has no bag, and then suddenly he has a bag.
The lack of dialogue from the antagonist is very clear to the audience, which is good as it creates questions about the character. However, it is bad as the sequence looks awkward as a whole. We would address this in future by having our antagonist saying some things of importance